to fix that flaw on Sarrazin's car.
Check the tape, actually, when it comes past.
Yeah.
Because it was flapping, and they certainly put the entire panel of tape on it, and it's not there anymore. Now, I don't think that's fallen off. I think that's the mechanics going back and having another look at it and suggesting, actually, oh, I don't know, though.
I think what you said was right, Jake. I think the entire tape balloon has come off on the first run down the Mulsanne.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you don't want to be right about.
Now they might be getting called in, because they've had an attempt at a repair and they've failed. This is the point where if you're sitting there, I don't know, there might be tape there looking at that shot from above.
Oh, this is bad bulking by the Ferrari. That's the car that's trying to get back into the fight for the victory, of course.
He's in a race of his own. He's gone past that first blue flag, but by the time they've gone past the second one, it was okay. So let's see if they can zoom in on the other side of the car. The other side of the car is the side we want. We want to see whether Sarrazin has got a broken. Here we go. Can we get it? No, the tape's still attached, I think.
It is still attached, yeah. It's still flapping about a bit, though. That's the only problem.
Yeah, the floor's no longer flapping, though. So that's the important thing. You know, you don't want that from an aero point of view, just flapping up and down, disturbing the air through the diffuser and causing you issues, which may well have been the reason for the spin. You know, that floor was getting very loose, and if you start putting dirty air through the diffuser, then you start losing rear grip, and that's exactly what happened. The car just turned on him on a sixpence. Right on the apex as he went over the bump through karting.
21 hours down, 3 hours to go. Toyota sitting pretty at the top of the timesheets. And now a minute, 2.6 seconds, a minute and 2.6 ahead of Gianni in the Porsche, who we believe is trying to go all the way to the end here. We think it's a possibility. Sarrazin has got in. That might be for the rest of the race. Davidson, we think there is going to be another driver change.
With 3 hours to go, I'd be surprised if they didn't put a fresh driver in when they do tyres, just because you need the ultimate pace. You need that driver to be as fresh as possible at the end. You know, it's a 1 minute gap for Yanni. That's the man you'd throw in now to try and close that gap, and you know, he is doing so. But let's see. Oh,
that's the Aston
car. That's the Dalalana car, I think.
Yeah, it will be. That is the 98 Aston, currently with Lauda, Matthias Lauda, the son of Nicky, in the car. And that car has stopped out on circuit on the inside line of the run up the Dunlop curves. So
worst possible place just after the pit lane exit. Yeah. He's trying to get the car refired.
You've now got 8.2 miles to drive the car to get it back again. That could be a race-ending position to break down. Because if the car can't go another mile, well, that's game over. Back on board with the leading car in LMP2, the Signatech Alpine, which has been ticking over for the entirety of the 6 hours we've been here.
Yeah, and Rick Lehelmy feels like he's been in that car forever now.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
He'll be coming out at the next stop, that's for sure. And we know that Will Stevens will be coming out, and Roman Ruznov going into the G-Drive car. But Victor Scheitar...
He's only recently got in.
Yeah, he's done a bloody good job. You know, he's into his second stint now, just into his second stint. Nick Leventis has slipped quite a long way behind those guys now. So it does look to me like the Straka podium is gone. I think that one, no chance of pulling that one back through now.
There's the Pegasus car, number 28.
Yeah. So is he going to get that car refired? It looked like almost like he was trying to bump start it in reverse as he was rolling back down the hill. But clearly he's got power. The battery master switch is on. He's cycling the ignition because the headlights are flashing. But it did look like he was just trying to coast it backwards down the hill and just boom, you know, right, got it.
I do believe Herr Dumbrek just popped his head into the commentary box.
He did. Peter's been in to get himself ready for
Dumbreka-san. Doing very well.
A long time in Japan. You be careful.
Yeah, well, yeah. That was a sign of respect. That wasn't a sign of criticism at all. The 97 Aston is back in, according to Louise. My word, that didn't sound nice in the eardrums there as it fired up. Fernando Reis in the pits, of course. Next, slow at zone 35. Slow zone at 1, 2, and 3. That's for the Aston, of course. So that is going into the Ford chicanes. down the straight and in through the sweep to the Dunlop curves. But it's looking good. The class leaders in the 4 classes is the way it is with 3 laps to go. Davidson in the Toyota leads
3
by...
3 hours to go.
3 hours to go, sorry. 3 hours to go.
You're used to this sprint racing.
I know I am. 3 hours to go, not 3 laps. 3 hours to go. Gianni, 1 minute, 9.4 seconds is the gap. Stéphane Sarthe is a further 54 seconds adrift. And that means that all 3 cars with 3 hours to go are still on the lead lap. This could go any way. The Audis are still knocking on the door, 4th and 5th position, so if any one of the top 3 falters, they will be in there to snatch a podium, because you do have to cross the line. Then it is the LMP2 categories. Riquelme leading still in the Signatech, Will Stevens in the G-Driver Reka, and Victor Scheitar in the SMP Racing BR Engineering car, with the Stracker boys in 4th position, the Eurasia boys in 5th place, and Nathaniel Berton in the 41. That is the Greaves car in 6th position. The GTs, it is Joey Hand still leading Tony Villander. Ford versus Ferrari, with Ferrari losing out after that spin for their man Tony Villander. 37 seconds is now the gap as a result of all that. And in 3rd position, Ryan Briscoe with Billy Johnson, the third Ford, now moving up into 4th position. And then we have the GTE AM cars. Bell, Long and Aguas is the order. Ferrari, Porsche, Ferrari, with Scuderia Corsa, the Americans, looking very strong again. All the way through this 6-hour stint they've been doing that. And Townsend Bell is at the wheel, and it looks as though they could well have the victory in the GTE AM class. And so, folks, for the final hurrah to the finish line, we're going to welcome back Julian Porter and Peter Dumbreck. I'm going to take this opportunity to thank you all for welcoming me to the Le Mans 24 Hours coverage. I hope I've passed the audition. Thank you all very much for tweeting me through the course of the night. And hopefully, 12 months' time, we'll do it all over again. For now, though, Julian Porter and Peter Dumbreck will close us out.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Giles. I got a funny feeling that you might be hanging around, Jake. I don't know why. I got this feeling that just something in my water tells me that you might well be hanging around. 2 hours, 55 minutes under, and as we get ourselves sorted and get ourselves ready, the desk is looking as messy as when we got it last time. Dear me, there's been a lot of work going on in here. Slow zone currently happening, and well, I have to say, I went to sleep about 6:30 this morning, woke up at 10:30, a 4-hour sleep, which was brilliant. I looked at my phone to check the results, and I thought my phone hasn't reset, it hasn't re-updated, and then I discovered it was a different car in the lead, but the gap was only about 3 seconds, which was what it was when I left. Quite incredible. Gap is a little bit bigger now as we wait. The 98 car, I think, as the guys reported, has just stopped in zone 3. So we'll get more update on that. I think Peter has just been briefed on that situation of the 98 Aston parked up. Tell you what, Jake's left quite a lot of stuff. Oh, he's left half a Twix. Oh, he's left some what are them, Starbursts, and the Kit Kat that I left. So we've got a little bit going on. So, but yeah, we are here for the final 2 hours, 53 minutes, and then the closing rituals, the celebrations, the that kind of stuff. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. So we will organise ourselves.
So yeah, not looking good for the 98 car. Obviously we know he stopped there, no spin or anything, just pulled up, waiting on information. Perhaps we can get some from the pits at some stage in the next sort of 10 minutes into the Aston garage to see what's going on there.
We have no telemetry. Do big liftoffs, and box first lap.
Okay, so that's the 8 car, no telemetry. And
so yeah, he would have approached the corner and had a big lift off, as he said. I don't know why that works with him, but obviously that's how it gets reset. And he's in this box in this lap anyway.
So that 98 car that is stopped, I mean, that's the Aston that basically kind of stopped a bit later in the race 12 months ago as well. So I think Louise is in the pits.
Pedro, you've heard from Mateus. What's he reporting back?
I think, yeah, the problem with the gearbox, and he had like 1 gear, 6th gear, and it was not possible to go up the hill in 6th gear. He was stuck there. I don't know what's going to happen now. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for that, Louise. So 1st and 6th gear. I mean, I don't know. You don't really want to be going up the hill in 1st gear either, because you would be a bit of a mobile chicane as well. So, okay, so here comes the Audi 8. Now, we did hear on team radio that he had to do a big lift off to kind of do a reset on that car.
Yeah.
And on its way in.
So he's been in an hour and 54 as well, and they're changing tyres, so he may well be getting out for the last time, Oliver Jarvis. Any driver waiting there? So no, it looks like he might just stay in, actually. I don't think there's a driver handy.
He won't do the rest of the race, though, will he?
No. He's been in an hour and 54, it said, so certainly not.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that. I was looking at the result, the main leaderboard. Louise saying that obviously between our stint, this car's had some repair work on the front end of it. I think there's quite a few cars now. Just reading a tweet just as we were finishing lunch. It was a bit of a dash to lunch, but we got some lunch there, and I discovered that the 44 Manor stopped out. Looked like it. I can't quite get, as daft as it sounds, can't quite get the full report on it, but the Le Mans tweeting that it's crashed, but Manor just saying that was it. It's been emotional. They'd enjoyed it. They'd led it, and they were now out.
Yeah, considering they've come from they've pretty much done everything now. Manor have all through the junior single-seater formula, and now into P2. Obviously P1, F1 as well. So John Booth there and his wife I saw earlier on yesterday, and looked in high spirits. And I think the car was going very well at the time, but. You know, this place can be very brutal, we know that, and there's a lot of cars fall by the wayside, and when they fall by the wayside with 2 hours and 49 to go, it's that much harder. If you go out after... Right, so that's...
I'll let you explain that one away.
Obviously, again, that's in the past now, but there was a slow zone, and Anthony... is used to having you're coming to a slow zone, get ready, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and brake, sort of thing. And that must be their way of doing it, and they must have missed it that time. It's getting late in the day, everyone's tired, and he's trying to say to them, come on boys, this can make the difference. If I get this wrong and we have a penalty and it's because of that, then he'll be very unhappy.
Now the shot not much earlier that we saw was Toyota engineers on the pit wall talking to a Michelin guy. Were they just generally distracted because they're obviously talking about some tyres maybe to go to the end of the race on, and that's maybe why they just missed that little bit of detail. That car's looking a bit scruffy now, isn't it?
Yeah, so we know, how long ago was that?
That's a long time ago now.
So in the middle of the night, Kobayashi had contact with a slower GT car.
It's in the garage. It's in the garage.
It's been off, as we know. He's spun through the gravel. He's got it out again. But yeah, that has gradually got worse and worse, and it's affecting handling more and more. So when they push it to the limit, it just can't hold on anymore sometimes, so they've got to drop their pace slightly. And at the same time, Anthony Davidson is pulling a blind. He's absolutely smashing out there. So Davidson is driving for the victory.
I didn't really know what that was. I thought they said we bleed the clutch, but I don't think it would be that. So
yeah, I'm not sure myself.
Front end cars, they have plenty of time behind them, so they can do this and they can make sure that it's right. They were starting to drop away from what's the big.
This is a Kobayashi spin. You know, there, generally speaking, I think he probably touched the curb on the inside as well, which might have sent the rear, but that's generally a... Oh, that's good. He managed to use a bit of
there's not many
four-wheel drive action to get the car out.
Not many cars get out.
But that's traditionally an understeer corner because it's off camber. But obviously with this aero imbalance, it's just sent the rear end round on him, and he just didn't expect it, and it's cost more time. It's made more damage on the car, and that's playing into the hands of the number 2 and the number 5.
Do you think? I mean, that's gone into the garage there. Do you think potentially they're going to change? They're underneath it. They've got it in the air. They might be putting a floor on that now because it's just seemed to have been getting more difficult to drive. They've got lots of laps behind them. They don't have to worry about that. Let's just make this a bit more stable for the last 2 hours, 45 minutes or so, just so that they don't make a mistake now. We've got a bit of time in hand. I'm not saying that's what they are doing, but there's potential for that.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know how bad it is. If it's bad enough to bring the car in like that, then, yeah, they have got a bit of time. But, you know, I'm sure that crew are still fighting. They're still hoping that something might happen to the 5 and the 2 ahead.
Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, but obviously, if it's getting a bit tricky to drive, Stefan Sarthe still sat in the car, so they're obviously not doing a major job where it's going to take a long time, because you said that you're kind of expected to sit in there for 20 minutes or so. If it's anything more than 20 minutes, you might be allowed to get out of the car. But 20 minutes or so, you would stay in.
A lot of the time, the crew are so busy that they forget about you, and you know, you're not their concern, and it's not you've just got to sit there quietly and wait. And if you're requested to get out of the car, you get out of the car, but otherwise you just wait there.
Well, there is the Toyota. That's a new front end, because the front end that came off it was very dirty. You'll see the difference in the colour from that new front end to the rest of the bodywork, which is very, very dirty.
So that off might have caused just a little bit more damage to and it was making the imbalance even more. So they might have tried to change the balance a bit and get it a bit more solid on the rear.
So the second place P2 car, Will Stevens in it. He's just come into the pits. So yeah, he's still circling around. I know that Jake and Giles would have given away all the results, but it is a Ford leading GTE Pro. He's got 38 seconds over Tony Villander, so that's not over by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, we did hear that Villander had enough. Probably the people watching know more than we do at the moment, but yeah, that's the reason why the Ford is now in the lead. Joey Hahn, you know, has put in some strong stints. But that's the lone Ferrari fighting everyone now, Villander, and then you've got 3 Fords backing him up, and then you've got the 95 Aston sitting there in 5th position now. So they've dropped 1 position since we came off air 6 hours ago.
So new front end on that. Here is our number 5 Toyota. This is in the lead. Tension is rising. 2 hours 44 minutes to go. It's still a long way. In theory, of a normal world endurance race, we're just over halfway. The 6 hours they normally do, we're just over halfway. So it's still a lot of program to run through for these drivers.
Or we're over 3.5 time.
Yeah, but like if you were doing a 6-hour wet race, with 2 hours 43 minutes to go, okay, you'd be just over halfway of your regular race. So
yeah, true, but the cars have done a lot of they've had a lot happen to them. The drivers are tired, everyone is tired, and that's why, you know, that's part of the challenge of this race, is you have to get it straight in your head. I'm talking about that, you know, we came off air at 6 a.m. and we went back to have a bit of a sleep in our little caravans, and I felt guilty. I felt guilty lying there with no pressure at all, knowing that some of my mates are out there, stomachs tied up in the fight for victory, and I've got no stress on me at all. The next thing I need to do is come.
HV cooling, it's HV cooling.
Right, so he's cooling the HC. So hybrid.
Control something.
Hybrid.
Anyway, he's cooling something, but Anthony obviously knows that the 6 car is in the pits.
And he's worried about the same thing happened to him. Yeah.
Oh, dear me.
So, you know, all these thoughts are going through his head. He's pushing hard, He knows there's not so long to go now. And in normal times, as you say, he's just past halfway. But why wouldn't they finish a 6-hour race? But this is 3.5 times that already. So
Zone 16, there's a yellow flag. That's the second chicane, which is where Anthony Davison's heading down toward. It's gone now. It's gone. It was a quick one. But yeah, that's it. You can just... I don't know Anthony Davison, but you can just kind of feel there that there's just as you say, a little bit of stress. Just questioning what's going on, guys. We need to know what's going on.
He's a very experienced driver. He's been through this situation before. He's been right up there on the podium, never won it yet, and he really wants to win it. And he, if he looks back and doesn't cover every base, if he looks back in a couple of days' time and say, "Oh, why didn't I do that? And why didn't I push the team into this and that?" And in a sense, he's got to lead the team because he's a man on track.
It's always wise to find out what's going on, because obviously he might be able to adjust his driving style as well if there is something.
Yeah, he's got to be quick, but at the same time, just not take those extra risks, not barrel the car in.
Carry on for the now. Carry on, it's all under control. It's all under control. The car 6 issue related to bodywork damage.
So that's in a sense for him that's good news, because it's not a car failure as such. It's a failure because of the offs the cars had and the contact with the other cars. So far as we know, number 5 hasn't touched any cars, so there's no reason they should have the same problem.
Yeah, but what I didn't understand was you just continue as you are, all is okay. Then he went on about the 6 car, his bodywork.
Again, I'm sure we missed another communication that said, okay, the number 6 car's got this issue. But they've now figured out that it was due to the contact.
Okay, Anthony is in the pits.
Yeah, I'm in the pits in the Ford garage, because the challenge is really high this year for Ford, and it's like back in the 60s, because it's Ferrari, sorry, this is Ford. So Raj, how do you rate this great duel back in the 60s? That's just great to be here in Le Mans and fight for the victory.
Well, it's been a good battle. There's still, more than 2.5 hours left, but it's been back and forth between Ferrari and ourselves, so we really enjoyed that competition, but we're glad we're in front right now. We're running 1-3-4. Cars are running reliably. We've got good speed, so we're just pacing ourselves towards the end.
Do you have some memories from the years before? I mean, you were not born maybe, but is it something you'd like to see, Ford versus Ferrari?
Well, certainly this being the 50th anniversary of our win in 1966 with the GT40, with that epic battle with Ferrari then, it seems that history is repeating itself relative to the battle, so we're enjoying seeing that, but we've got a lot of racing to do and we're focused on that right now.
What's the strategy for the end of the race?
Well, you can't slow down here, so even though we've got a bit of an advantage, we're going to keep our pedal to the metal, as we say in the US. We're going to go flat out from here through the rest of the race, and but the cars are showing good pace, and as I said, they're running reliably, so we'll just try to keep doing what we've been doing for the last 22 hours.
Thank you very much. Have fun.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Anthony. Just looking through some tweets. We can see it's all we ever seem to do at the moment is looking through tweets. But David Smith just wondering why the Porsche, saying Jake and Giles said the Porsches could do a 318, but were fuel saving doing 324s. Doesn't make sense losing 7 seconds a lap. I think what it is they're not going to catch the Davison Toyota on pure speed. So they're thinking, well, let's just stay safe. Let's stay within a minute or so of where we are and pick up any pieces that potentially fall off.
I'm not quite so sure about that. The fact that Kobayashi's done the fastest lap, and that was a long time ago. In lap 81, he did a 3:21.4, and we think the Porsche can do a 3:19, do we? No. If they could do that, they would be doing that. Yeah, I don't believe that. I think perhaps they can go a little bit quicker than they're doing, but no, I think Yanni is driving flat out. He's trying to catch the Davidson Toyota.
Okay, well, this is the 6 Toyota. That's just some slow-mo action replays. There's 6 Toyota there before it came in, had a new nose put on it. Sam Tinknell just tweeting, he's been on a long weekend of running to get back to the hotel and discovered that we're covering Le Mans. He says, excellent when two great things come together.
Well, thanks very much, Sam.
That's it, yeah. So
it's an absolute pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it is. So we're going to do a few more, I think. You know what I mean? It'd be quite cool to do a few more, but let's see. 37 minutes to go. Stefan Sarrazin.
Yep, good to have him back out, still in third place. Yeah, unless there's any major hiccups ahead. Yeah, he's only 4 laps behind, and a lot of things can happen in 2 hours, 37 minutes.
Yeah, it's quite scary what can happen in that kind of time. I'm just sorting out my desk to make sure that I've not got stuff that I don't need in front of me.
So no extra sweets and chocolates and stuff.
No extra sweets.
Okay, get rid of them.
Jake's left the building. He obviously doesn't like
the red ones.
He obviously doesn't like the red and pink ones.
Well, I'll have that. I like the red ones.
Well, you can have the
I'll
red
take them
and pink.
home with me.
That's it. Starburst on the. He obviously was desperate because he has left some red, but that's a whole bag. They're not just. Oh, hang on. I think they are all red.
Oh, yeah. So no, he just hasn't quite finished them yet.
No, he just hasn't finished them. So
he'll realise that he's left them behind. He'll be gutted. He'll be on the way up on the train up to Paris.
I don't know. Knowing Jake, he'll be listening on the app, and he'll be back in for them in a couple of minutes when he discovers before his lift goes. So, yep. So 57 seconds is the gap between first and second, which in Le Mans terms is not very much. It's not the closest battle that we've ever had, but it's going to be interesting. Villander, let's just keep a look on that. 39 seconds behind now, the Ford of Joey Hand, which we are on board with currently. That was as if the director knew what I was going to talk about. It still sounds, Audi going past, 21 hours, 24 minutes in, and still sounds as nice as it did all those hours ago.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't want to tempt fate, but I kind of thought that there might be more issues with the Fords. I think the speed was never in question. I think they always were going to be the strongest car here, but I thought reliability might be an issue, and so far, knock on wood for them, it seems to be going well. You know, they've had the little issues with the car 67, but Andy Prio's in the car, which
that was
again
right at the start, wasn't it? That 67 problem.
And so they're running down in 9th. The other two cars, Milner and the 51 Ferrari, are both out. So the last GT Ford 67 is running in effectively last place in Pro, but they're still running. And it's, you know, it sounds a bit corny, but it's an achievement to get to the finish at all.
They have got a very, very strong driver lineup in that car. Yeah, as you said, there's so many hazards and so many things that can trip you up at Le Mans over the race, the course of the race. And it's to have those experienced drivers in there, yeah, just makes that difference in tricky conditions like where the race started in, just to get themselves all sorted there. You can see the paddles behind the steering wheel. You can see him just flicking it up.
He looks fairly relaxed.
I was just thinking, yeah.
Maybe slightly tired, but I'm not actually sure how long he's been in the car, certainly since we got into the commentary box. There's a second place Villander car.
The number 1 Porsche just going past it there. Mark Webber on board. 17th place overall now. He was down in 42nd or something at one point, which was due to all those problems that they had in the night. Under the cover of darkness. So it's still going, and yeah, I'm not really sure what else they can really do from there apart from just show the world that they are the fastest car on the racetrack. Villander been in for 86 minutes. 21 pit stops in total.
So it looks like since we left 6 hours ago, it's status quo with the 36 car LMP2. They're still leading the category in Alpine. and Rushinov in the 26 car next. I think the 37 cars come up the order a bit since we last saw, and also the Leventis Straka car now in 4th place in P2. So those long stints from Danny Watts and Johnny Kane in the night, bringing that car up. Leventis on board now.
So it's the 36 car which has done very, very well. Rushinov, remember that car, the 26 car, was on pole position. It did drop down in the tricky conditions in the first hour or two. It was kind of not out the back door because there's so many P2 cars, but it wasn't where you would expect it to. But gradually, the speed and experience of that car and team are making their way back up, being in 2nd place for quite a long time now. Without pointing out the obvious, it just looks like a Sunday drive.
No, he's working the wheel still, but he's a smooth driver.
Yeah.
He's got a good style, nice and smooth, which is great around here.
And once you get into a rhythm, and it's all about just, even if it's a pushing rhythm, it is all about staying in that rhythm. This is the leader of P2.
Gives you an indication that there's not that much difference in pace between a P2 car and a good GT car.
Well, we did see that in the dark, didn't we? Sometimes that the P2s were just struggling to get past.
It can be difficult. If you've got one of the bronze drivers in a P2 and a platinum driver in a fast GT car, quite often they're battling each other, and effectively the P2 car's getting in the way because he might be slower in the corners but faster down the straights, but only just. So quite often we've seen that in the past where the GT drivers are calling for the P2 cars to just get out of the way, or you know, even for them to get some kind of a faster engine so that they can actually make the difference, and so it's easier for them to go a little bit faster than the GT cars. So nice and easy through that one. He's not right up to the barriers late in the day. He's not taking any big risks, but he's running where he's down in 4th place, Olivier Pla. But Ford kind of have it covered at the moment. You know, it could become a Vilander party if Joey Hand has a problem, and a Ferrari party. But yeah, looking down the order, Ferrari still in the lead in Pro-Am class. Townsend Bell again, when we left he was there. Pat Long was 2nd when we left 6 hours ago. He's there again now. So not much changing down there. There's 3 Ferraris in the top 4 and a Porsche in 2nd place. Nice to see Adam Carroll up there in 5th place as well overall in the GT Am. And we know quite a few cars have had issues and now stop. And the last one we saw wasn't, I was going to say Nicky Lauda then. Matthias Lauda stopped in the 98 Aston for, what did Pedro Lamy say the problem was?
Only 1st and 6 gears.
Yeah, he'd lost his gears and he just effectively couldn't drive around the track. So that car is out, I would have thought.
It's somewhere up at Dunlop, isn't it? It's parked in and amongst that area. So the gap at the front could be traffic, but it's just come down by 3 or so seconds.
Yeah, Gianni's he's lapping consistently in the 322s. Davidson last time around 325. Maybe a bit of traffic, or maybe just being told to ease off slightly and make sure the car makes it home.
Here comes the 6 car, 3rd place. As you'll know, they've just been into the pits. Kobayashi took a trip across the gravel, then Stefan Sarrazin got in the car. Team radio.
7 laps with Jean-Louis. Yes, I can see for
So yeah, confirmation from Sarthe there that the car is very difficult to drive with its various problems through the night and I mean, this is what makes a difference in Le Mans. If you keep it clean and tidy and you don't have any offs, you don't damage your car, that's easier to drive towards the end of the race, and that's what Davidson's having right now. And with Sarthe, he's really on the limit with the car, and he can't push it too hard because he risks going off and losing everything. So better to have a podium than nothing. Of course, he wants to win, but unless, as I said before, unless there's trouble ahead, it's unlikely to happen.
It's interesting, he says there's not a lot of grip in the front end. That's a new nose as well on there, so they will be kind of all identical, 3 wide. It must be bumpy down there on that kind of...
Yeah, but I mean, I think over the course of the 24 hours, there's been cars all over these areas, and they've gradually sort of cleaned up a bit. The more you drive on them, the more they clean up. You see how the aero just flicks everything, the dust, the dirt and everything up and kind of off and out the way. So we got 63 Corvette into the pits now, Garcia at the wheel. We haven't really seen the challenge develop for these guys. We know one of the cars is out, the 64 car's out. The 63 car down in 7th place. Unfortunate that Corvette couldn't really bring the fight. We had the big issues with the BOP before the race began. In fact, it got changed just before the race began. So the Ford and the Ferrari got pegged back slightly. The Corvette and the Aston got a little bit extra so they could be quicker, and the Porsche remained the same. So both Porsches, in fact, there was 3 Porsches in, there are 3 Porsches in the Pro class. One of them is still running, but down in 8th place. And as I said, the Corvette just couldn't quite match the pace of the others. Aston had a go. They're kind of up there in 5th place, but, you know, just unable to clearly lap at the same pace as the Ford and the Ferrari. And over the course of the last 22 hours or so, that makes a big difference. And unless they get a lot of luck, then they're not going to make the podium today.
So we're on board with the 7 Audi currently. Ben is in the car, 5th place overall at the moment.
So yeah, I'm going back to fastest lap from Kobayashi. We saw that lap. It was lap 81 of the race. They're on 343 now. Oh, I believe we have an interview.
Let's cross over to Anthony in the pits.
We are in the pits with Giuseppe Rizzi, the owner of the Rizzi Competizione car. Giuseppe, how is the race so far? The duel between Ford and Ferrari is just great.
Yes, it certainly has been a long race. We have been very competitive. We've lost 1 or 2 little points, but it's wonderful to be here. Le Mans is such a special place, and especially with a Ferrari.
Is it reminiscent to what happened in the 60s? Are you proud to fuel this history again here in Le Mans?
Yes, it's very special. When I first came here in '69 as a spectator, but then Ferrari was not as strong, but I came later on and before. Ferrari has always been, this is a wonderful track for Ferrari. And, you know, Ford are very strong. They've got a very good organization. They have a very good car.
And you have a strong organization as well, because Rizzi Competizione is doing great things this year and for the last past years. So what is your magic? What is your secret for that?
Having very good people. That is very important. The people are what makes everything. And then also we have a very good product in Ferrari. So you combine those two, then you have a wonderful cocktail.
Let's speak about drivers as well. Giancarlo was very good, Tony as well, and really that's a great team effort.
Yes, I'm sorry I didn't mention that, but the drivers are very important. And we've got a very good balance between Tony and Giancarlo and Matteo. And they've all done a tremendous job. They've taken care of the car, and I couldn't ask for more. They've been very good.
Grazie, thank you very much. That's great, really, to feel the history, to be just here in Le Mans, and being part of that is just great, guys. I don't know if you agree, but that's great.
Well, it's all great, isn't it? And there's so much passion. I mean, this is like the car that's the Ferrari that are running in GTE categories, but the same passion, fortunately, just runs through every single team. And that's what is so special.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, we're just a couple of hours away from the end of 24-hour race. That's the boss of the car, and I'm sure he's not had much sleep. You know, he'll be feeling it. The emotions are running high. He's got the chance to potentially win, and you know, make no bones about this. We've got Anthony Davidson up there in P1 leading, and the P1 cars, but there's 4 fights going on, and they're all as important as each other. Okay, the overall victory is a big one, but you're never going to win overall in a GT car, so the best you can do is win your class, and the competition is very stiff, and if you do that, then you can be very, very proud.
It is all about winning. I mean, a lot of these privateers running like in the AM category, it's about taking part, but it's about winning as well. And there's some people are very proud. There's 7 Audi just on pit road. A lot of drivers, your amateur drivers, who just like, I want to do Le Mans, but I'm going to get the best drivers I can to come along with me. Just the number 2 car on board there with it. I saw Porsche in the pit road looking like they were ready to receive Neil Yanni in the next couple of laps, and one of my moments of passion just bizarrely coming. Just had a text message from Harry Toivonen, who just did this event 5 times, so he's listening, and a famous name in the world of motorsport, Neil Yanni in. But yeah, Harry would like to come back. A little while ago since he was last here, but would like to come back. A race that never really did him a lot of favours, finishing once out of his 5 starts. Yanni in to the pits. 57 seconds is the gap between first and second. Anthony Davidson still out front. So again, it's just a check over and having a look at it. Photographer taking pictures. I'm not sure whether he's a photographer, general photographer, or a Porsche photographer. And the reason why I say that is purely and simply because you're getting very close and very intimate, so to speak, with that car, looking at stuff that normally teams wouldn't want people to look at. So I suspect if he takes a load of pictures underneath, they can download them, they can study it, and just to make sure that everything is underneath. I might be completely wrong on that, but we do see teams kind of employing photographers to do stuff and check stuff. But Neil Yanni on his way back out.
Yeah, we're seeing a penalty for Christina Nielsen in the Ferrari, number 60, P6 in the AM class. So that's going to cost her a little bit. She's got a drive-through penalty for refueling with the engine running.
She got 4 laps on the car behind, so she should be okay in theory in position. Kazuki Nakajima, that was, I believe, I only quickly glanced the driver. I'm sure it was Nakajima.
Yeah, I was talking for a while about the fastest lap and how Kobayashi set that lap a long time ago. And of course we left at sort of happy hour when we expected the times to tumble, and yet fastest lap has remained, so no one's gone any quicker, and that includes the cars that really don't have much to lose, like the Weber car. It's now running well, and if they could have done, they would have done the fastest lap, because that's the only thing they can gain from this race now. They can't finish on the podium, or it's very, very unlikely. And you know, if you're going to leave this race, you kind of want to leave with something, and if you leave with the fastest lap, then that's quite an accolade. But obviously they couldn't do either. The Trelaway car, same situation. They're quite a few laps down. They couldn't do it. So Kobayashi still has that fastest lap from lap 81, So I'm a bit surprised.
Davison on pit road. We saw Nakajima getting ready, well, standing there waiting. Will it be a driver change? We have seen drivers in these cars being prepared and ready, but sometimes not getting in. But 2 hours, 17 minutes to go.
Yeah.
It is going to be, and Kazuki probably take it to the end, won't he, from here?
I would have thought so, yeah. Well, you know, from... that might not be any kind of surprise because...
yeah, I didn't want to say that.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be luck. It could be just, oh, that's the way it's turned out. But, yeah, I would have thought it's kind of planned that the Japanese driver, if they had any chance of winning, that the Japanese driver in the Japanese car would cross the line.
Yeah, that's...
It's a lot of pressure on his shoulders now. And, you know, Davidson's done a tremendous job. He can... Well, he can't completely put his feet up because he's going to be nervous because it's now out of his hands and he can do nothing to control it. You know, you've got all these little superstitions that you might be thinking, like, I won't do that and I won't do that and I won't do this and I won't go there and I won't, you know, I won't talk to anyone. I'm just going to focus for the next 2 hours and 16 minutes on the rest of the race. And after that, if we win, then I'll talk to whoever and I don't mind.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, do you lock yourself in the driver's room and just be kind of unaware of what's going on, or do you basically base yourself so deep into the garage around with so many people around you that no media or journalist can get you? Because yes, the mechanics know not to talk to you, but also if you're kind of hidden by all your mechanics, no one's going to come in.
Let's see if Anthony can get there or Louise.
Yeah,
that would be. Yeah, to speak to you know, give Anthony a couple of minutes and see if you can get to speak to him.
Yeah, what were we just saying about media getting in the way? And we then go and send our guys out.
Anthony Davidson.
If
we can manage that, please.
There's a challenge for you. And to our Anthony, we've sent him a challenge of Toyota's Anthony. So he's quite up for a challenge. He's looking forward to that. So he did a big shift last night.
Don't say that we sent you.
Okay, if you can, and once you have him, that's fine. Don't pressurize the situation, but it would be great to hear from the driver who's just got out of that lead car. Neil Yanni, the number 2, slicing his way through the P2s. Now the gap down to 32.8 seconds, pure and simply because of the pit stop that just happened there.
Yeah. So looking down the order to Ollie Jarvis in that number 8 Audi, who's in 4th place. Talking about fastest laps, well, he's just done his fastest lap, but it's 1 second off Kobayashi's fastest lap from way earlier in the race. So good to see him pushing hard at this time of day. That car's obviously on song now. Both the Audis, as we know, have had issues all week, really. All little things, just not putting them on the back foot and just kind of scuppering their chances. Whereas Toyota seem, you know, they deserve it. They've run relatively flawless. Okay, little issues with Kobayashi and his contact, but thankfully there's another car up there. Neil Jani's up there, and again, it's so long ago I've forgotten what happened to the Weber Porsche. It was a water pump, which was very difficult to get to, and so it meant a lot of time.
Remarks from Kazuki, as we spoke before. Concentrate on recovery, especially in the traffic.
Yeah.
So concentrate on recovering the energy.
Oh, yeah, recovering, and then traffic, which is obvious, but, you know, as you say,
they don't want any silly contact now. If you're in doubt, just wait. You know, there's no point in pushing the matter unless Yanni is so close that you have to give it 100%, then just err a little bit on the side of caution. They're still currently doing 1 lap more on a stint than Yanni is.
But the thing, it's not just, I mean, people might say, well, Nakajima's just got in the car. He's not, but it's not just, because Kazuki's got another 50-odd cars on this racetrack that he's going to have to overtake in the next 2 hours, 12 minutes. So it's other drivers who are tired, getting towards the end of their stints. Their tyres are getting old. And yeah, as you say, Kazuki might just dive down the inside somewhere, and he doesn't need to.
To be fair, it is more along the lines of the GTM cars that he's got to, or possibly if the bronze drivers are in the LMP2 cars, he's got to keep an eye open.
That's it. As you said, be safe. Don't take any risks. Just overtake where it's really clear and sensible. This is our leading GTE Pro car. It's a great noise.
It's almost the best place to be in the car now. Because
away from all of the hype building up around the pit garage.
Yeah, as I said, when it's in your control and you can dictate, then it's almost better to be there. When you're sitting in the pits and you know you're done for the day, and you're sitting in a position that could potentially win, in a sense you're glad that your teammate's in it and not you. But in the other sense, it's like, well, I can't do anything. I'm nervous, but I'm completely out of control. And you know, it's all on the driver who's driving now and the team to make sure that car comes home.
Sounds as nice from outside than inside. This is the leader of the GTE Pro category, Joey Hand in this Ford. Drive-through penalty. It's just, we've already talked about that. Just come up on the screen there, just for your information. Car 60 drive-through penalty. That is the Danish Ferrari. Christina Nielsen aboard it at the moment. She's in the pits now, so I suspect she's serving that penalty.
It's a couple of Twitter notifications coming in. Jake Robinson is just reminding us what happened to Villander. He spun at Porsche, similar to Kobayashi. I think we kind of, yeah, we did miss it, but we got the gist from the other commentators. Sam Ticknell thinks maybe I should join you on a WRC event. Yeah, why not? I like a bit of rallying.
You like a bit of rallying?
Philip Bond, who I think he's got good knowledge himself, he's asking us the last time before that a major manufacturer won its class debut at Le Mans, and to be honest, I have not a clue. So Phil, I think you can probably work that one out. You've got more knowledge than us on that one.
So just a shot there from our TV director for the girls. They're waking up. Shot of Patrick Dempsey in the pit garage. And you talk about passion, you talk about emotion and what it means. Dempsey on the podium last year was just incredible. It was like he's had big blockbuster movies, but it didn't seem to matter from what he did last year getting on the podium here.
I think it was a massive thing for him. He was kind of helped out towards the end, and it did look like at one stage that the way he was coming up from 5th, 4th, up to 3rd, and he finished 2nd in the end, didn't he? And it was, he benefited from that very late crash of the Aston 98 car, which moved him up, and it did look like his fairy tale might actually come true, and he might actually get a win out of this, but not in the end. But yeah, he's come back as a team manager. He even said he talked about the stress levels being even higher as a team manager, because he feels responsible for everyone and has to make sure everyone's okay, and that the drivers have what they need, etc. So Pat Long finally has actually dropped to 3rd place. Maybe he's changed over to Heinemeier Hansen as well. He's been in 2nd place for a long time. Aguas in the Ferrari, they had a slow start. He's in the car with Collard and 2 very, very fast drivers in that Ferrari 83 car. Gradually found their way back up after having early dramas in the race, but it's taken the best part of 22 hours to get back to 2nd place. Jeff Segal up in the 62 car Ferrari, done a great job. In fact, everyone in that car has done a great job. They've led for quite a while now, at least more than 12 hours anyway. So yeah, doing a great job there. And I mentioned for Rob Bell as well in the 61, 2 rookie teammates, first time here, they're 4th at the moment. Rob Bell's lapping very quickly. I think he's done a lot of this race, Rob has. When the others maybe do a couple of stints, he does 3 stints. So he must be a tired lad now. And surely on his last one now, I mean, he might be seeing it to the end. But at least only 2 hours and 7 minutes to go for him. And Adam Carroll up there as well in the 86 Golf Porsche. Again, problems for them in the past, but yeah, they're running nicely up in 5th place. Porsche, we know, is maybe not the car to have in the AM class. The Ferrari seems to be quicker, whereas the Ford seems to be slightly quicker than in the Pro class. Fisichella back in the 82 car now in 2nd place. So he will be there to finish off, I think. And Dirk Muller in the class leading 68 car. Pole position man. Late on the Wednesday night. Was it Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday night,
that long ago?
It was that long ago, and they'd just done that driver change there, Dirk Muller on his outlap, and Joey Hand got out and he strapped Dirk in, he put the mesh across the door and everything, and it was a big pat on the leg, kind of like,
go on, buddy.
Just bring that home then, come on.
Know, that's the thing, all these guys, they're all mates as well as teammates. You know, they have to get on well. They have to pass the gun. They rely on each other to do a good job. And I think there's a lot of goodwill in motorsport, and especially when you get to this level. You know, in the cut and thrust of Formula One, you see them always arguing and fighting amongst themselves, and you know, the Hamilton and Rosberg dramas and everything. But they're in it for themselves. There's only one in the car, whereas here we've got 3 in the car, and they've all got to work together, and it's a totally different team aspect.
Scott Dixon's eyes, he's just constantly, that's what he's looking at. He's constantly checking the mirrors. There's a P2 car coming, and
well, yeah, he's at that point he's thinking, well, a number of things. He's thinking, right, when is this car going to
team radio?
Some radio.
First and second are just in the pits for their out laps. That's a good lap. That'll help us quite a bit here.
So yes, he's had a very good out lap, it seems like. Yeah, so he's thinking, when is this car going to get to me? Is he going to get to me before the chicane, or am I going to just block him and take the chicane, take the line on my own, and hope that he doesn't hit me? Or, you know, all these little things going through his mind. And a lot of the time it's better just to lift that brief bit, because that P2 car might dive bomb him anyway. So if you just lift off, you make it easier for both of you. So you're just calculating all these things as you're approaching the corner, and bearing in mind everyone's tired now, so this is when the mistakes will happen.
That's it. It's exactly what Nakajima was warned by his pit crew when he left. Just be safe, kind of thing. Just look after everything. And in that situation, yeah.
Yeah. So we're hearing from the pits that Anthony couldn't get hold of Anthony.
He's gone for something to eat. Is
no Davidson for us, unfortunately. I'm not that surprised, to be honest. No. He's in a high pressure situation, and I'm not sure I would want to talk to you either. But
yeah. Oh dear me. Well, yeah, but at the end of the day, you were just saying that he would probably try and hide himself when it's nothing personal. It's not that he's grumpy or anything like that. It's just kind of, I don't want to start talking.
Tension is high, and he's on the brink of winning his first Le Mans, and yeah, he just doesn't want to do anything to upset that. He wants to just take care of himself. I mean, I doubt it, but he might even. No, there's no way he's getting back in the car.
But you don't know that, do you? You just do not know what
I suppose the situation could arise that they need the quickest driver in the car, and it probably is him for the last stint, but I doubt it. I think they're all on a similar pace. Nakajima now lapping, and bearing in mind he's taking it easy. He's lapping about a second slower than Gianni, so he's 28 seconds up the road. So it's still all good, as long as that doesn't become 2 and 3 seconds a lap slower than him.
Yeah, that's and what we've got to remember is there is more pit stops to come, and they are on slightly different pit stop strategies. These two cars, pure and simply, Toyota basically can run 1 lap more on their fuel in the car. They can stretch it out, and then when we go right back to the start, the 2 Porsche came in having struggled a little bit.
So we're getting some information from the pits that the Porsche boss engineer is making a hurried trip to to the race engineer, the race director for some reason. Maybe that will become apparent, maybe not. But yeah, maybe. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see
could
what
be that he's
is.
trying to I don't know.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Get one over on Toyota for some reason.
Yeah.